Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of gardening. Today, we're going to explore something truly magical that can transform your garden into a lush paradise. Ready to grow the biggest, tastiest veggies ever? Imagine biting into a juicy tomato or a crisp cucumber all grown right in your backyard. Sounds amazing, right? Then let's talk about compost. This humble, often overlooked material is the secret ingredient to a thriving garden. Compost is like magic food for your garden. It's a natural way to enrich your soil, making it fertile and full of life. It's made from old leaves, grass clippings, and kitchen scraps. All those things you usually throw away can be turned into black gold for your garden. Just like we need healthy food, plants need healthy soil. And compost is the best way to give them that. It's teeming with beneficial microbes and nutrients that plants crave. This helps your veggies grow big and strong. You'll notice a significant difference in the health and size of your plants. Compost helps plants in so many ways. It improves soil structure, making it easier for roots to grow and access nutrients. It gives them important nutrients. Think of compost as a multivitamin for your garden. It helps the soil hold water better. This means less frequent watering and more efficient use of water. And it even helps fight off pesky diseases. Healthy soil leads to healthy plants, which are more resistant to pests and diseases. With compost, you'll see a vibrant, thriving garden that brings joy and satisfaction. And guess what? Happy gardens mean happy gardeners. There's nothing quite like the feeling of seeing your hard work pay off. Composting is easier than you think. You don't need a lot of space or fancy equipment to get started. It's like recycling for your garden. Instead of throwing away food scraps and yard waste, we can turn them into something amazing. It's a simple process that anyone can do. It's good for the environment and good for your garden. By composting, you're not only helping your garden, but also reducing waste and contributing to a healthier planet. Making compost is like baking a delicious cake. Just like a cake needs the right mix of ingredients to turn out perfectly, compost needs a balanced mix of materials to break down properly and become rich, fertile soil. You need the right ingredients. Without the right balance, your compost might not decompose correctly, or it could even start to smell unpleasant. In compost, we talk about greens and browns. These are the two main types of materials you need to create a healthy compost pile. Greens are things like vegetable peels, coffee grounds, and fresh grass clippings. These materials are rich in nitrogen, which is essential for the growth of microorganisms that help break down the compost. Browns are things like dried leaves, shredded paper, and twigs. These materials provide carbon, which is a crucial energy source for the microorganisms in your compost. Greens give the compost nitrogen. Nitrogen is like the protein in your diet. It helps build strong, healthy cells in the microorganisms that decompose the compost. Browns give the compost carbon. Carbon is like the carbohydrates in your diet. It provides the energy that microorganisms need to do their work. You need both for happy compost. A good balance of greens and browns ensures that your compost pile stays active and breaks down efficiently. A good rule of thumb is to use 1 part greens to 2 parts browns. This ratio helps maintain the right balance of nitrogen and carbon. That means for every bucket of greens, add 2 buckets of browns. This simple guideline can help you create a compost pile that decomposes quickly and efficiently. Don't add any meat, bones, or dairy products to your compost. These items can attract unwanted pests and create unpleasant odors. Pests like rodents and flies are drawn to meat and dairy, and they can cause problems in your compost pile. Stick to fruits, veggies, yard waste, and paper products, and your compost will be happy. By using the right materials, you can create a compost pile that is healthy, efficient, and free of pests. Regularly turning your compost pile helps to aerate it, providing oxygen to the microorganisms that break down the materials. This can speed up the composting process and prevent unpleasant odors. Keeping your compost pile moist but not too wet is also important. Water helps to break down the materials, but too much water can create a soggy, smelly mess. With the right balance of greens and browns, regular turning, and proper moisture, you'll have rich, dark compost ready to nourish your garden in no time. Your garden will thank you for the nutrient-rich compost, and you'll enjoy the satisfaction of recycling your kitchen and yard waste into something beneficial for the environment. So remember, composting is a simple and rewarding way to reduce waste and create a healthier garden. Once you have your greens and browns in the compost bin, it's time to give them a mix. Think of it like stirring a pot of soup. Mixing helps everything decompose faster. Use a garden fork or a shovel to turn the compost every week or so. As you turn the compost, you'll notice it getting smaller and smaller. It will also start to feel warm. That's a good sign. It means the composting process is working. Keep turning your compost and soon you'll have beautiful, rich compost to feed your garden. After a few months of diligent composting, your compost will be ready to use. This process involves the natural breakdown of organic materials, transforming kitchen scraps and garden waste into nutrient-rich compost. It should look dark and crumbly like rich soil. This texture indicates that the compost is well decomposed and ready to nourish your garden. You won't be able to see any of the original ingredients anymore. The transformation is complete, and what remains is a homogeneous, earthy material. This black gold is what your plants have been waiting for. It's packed with nutrients that will help your garden thrive. There are a few ways to use finished compost. Each method can benefit different types of plants and gardening needs. Sprinkle it around your plants like a tasty treat. This top-dressing method provides a slow release of nutrients as it gradually works its way into the soil. Mix it into the soil when you're planting new seedlings. This ensures that young plants have immediate access to the nutrients they need to grow strong and healthy. You can even use it to make your own potting mix. Combining compost with other materials like peat moss and perlite creates a balanced medium for container gardening. No matter how you use it, your plants will thank you. The benefits of compost are numerous, from improving soil structure to enhancing water retention and providing essential nutrients. Composting isn't just good for your garden, it's good for the environment too. When we compost, we're keeping food waste out of landfills. This reduces harmful greenhouse gases. Plus, using compost means you won't need to buy as many chemical fertilizers. It's a win-win for everyone. So there you have it. Composting is a fun and easy way to give your garden the best food possible. With a little effort, you can turn kitchen scraps and yard waste into black gold that will make your plants happy and healthy. Sometimes, even with the best intentions, our compost doesn't always cooperate. If your compost is too wet and smelly, add more browns like dried leaves and shredded paper. If it's too dry and not decomposing, add some greens like grass clippings or vegetable scraps and give it a good watering. Remember, composting is a natural process, so be patient and adjust as needed. There are many different ways to compost, so find what works best for you. You can choose from traditional compost piles, enclosed bins, or even worm composting. Each method has its advantages, so do some research and choose the one that fits your lifestyle and garden needs. Building your own compost bin is easier than you think. You can use old pallets, chicken wire, or even repurposed plastic storage containers. Just make sure it's well ventilated and allows for drainage. There are plenty of simple DIY instructions available online. Happy gardening!